Let's begin with today's lesson. Now, who can tell me for PSLE, vocabulary MCQ, how many questions, how many marks? Raise your hand. Yes, Jakai?
5 questions, 5 marks.
Fantastic, because each of them is 1 mark, right? Good. Okay, thank you. You can give us our point, Jakai. Jaden, grammar, close. How many questions, how many marks?
10 questions, 10 marks.
Very good. 10 questions, 10 marks. Just remember, anything to do with grammar is always 10 question, 10 marks. Even grammar MCQs, 10 question, 10 marks is the first thing you look at in paper 2. And then, of course, vocabulary close and vocabulary MCQ, both is also 5 question, 5 marks. This one, a very important section. How many questions, how many marks? Oh, yes, Jaden gives us a point. Anybody can tell me? S&T. By the way, I won't say synthesis and transformation. It's too long for me to say. I'll just say S&T short form, okay? So if I say S&T, you know what I mean. Yes, Jaden?
2 questions, 2 marks.
2 questions?
Yeah, my exam is like this.
I'm asking for PSLE. How come only 2 questions? For P5, you only tested 2 questions? That's very sad.
Yeah.
Okay, for PSLE, how many questions are there? Yes, Ziren, sorry.
Is it 5 questions, 5 marks?
5 questions is right, but it's not 5 marks. It is 10 marks. Yes, gives our point. It's 5 questions, 10 marks. Because each question is 2 marks. If you miss a word, or you forgot to change the tense, or you didn't change the tense, or you miss punctuation, or you miss words, all that, you lose a mark. Now, S&T, who remembers what does synthesis mean? Why is it called synthesis and transformation? What does synthesis mean? Anybody remembers? No one? Synthesis. What does synthesis mean? Synthesis means combine. Combine. You synthesize something means you combine something with something. And in this case, whenever you do S&T, it's always 2 sentences. You are joining them into 1 using a connector, right? So that's why it's called synthesis. Now, why is it called transformation as well? Yes, Jaden? What is transformation?
I guess you change the grammar or the words. I don't know.
Yes. You change. Yes, the word I'm looking for is change. Yes, good. Gives our point. Transformation means change. Okay, like the Transformers, you change things, right? So that's why it's called transformation. Combine and you change. You're combining 2 sentences. Maybe you change the order of the sentence, change the order of the phrase. However, you cannot change the meaning. So when you combine and the meaning changes, then you lose marks already. Okay, so the meaning must remain the same, but you combine and you change. Well done. Thank you very much, all of you. Let's start with vocabulary MCQ. Who wants to choose a pen color? You can raise your hand. Pen color. Nobody wants to choose? Really? Okay, I shall choose. I'm going to choose rainbow. Because today, no one chose rainbow in my classes, so I'm going to choose. Okay, let me choose rainbow. All right. Okay, wait, let me just count how many of you. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 of you. So each of you are going to pick 1 fruit. There is 6 here, obviously. So the fruit that no one picks will become the fruit that I will decide who is going to answer the question. Can you please write down the fruit you want in the chat? So Jerkai wants peach. So peach is already taken. Peach is already taken, Ziren, because Jerkai already said peach. So something else. Jenna wants banana. Angeline wants lemon. 0. Okay, so Jerkai is peach. Remember your fruits, huh? So Jerkai is peach. Jaden is banana. Banana, how to spell, Jaden? You spelled it as banana. Banana. Yes, peach. Jaden is banana. Angeline is lemon. Ziren is pear. And then Emma Watson is apple. Okay, good. So which fruit is not chosen? Orange, right? Right? Let me just double check. Did anyone choose orange? Orange? No one chose orange. Yes. So when it lands on orange, I will pick. Okay. So let me spin the wheel. Oh no, sorry. Okay, let me see. Oh, it's orange. So I get to decide who's going to answer my first question. And I see on screen Ziren. So she shall answer the question. Question 1, what is the answer and what's the clue?
Is it B?
Yes, it's B. And why? What's the clue?
It's because of coloring application and mobile.
Yes, this is an application, it's an app, and it's a phone of mobile phone. Very good. Gives off 2 points, one for the answer and one for the clue. Now, what does install mean? Can anybody tell me what does install mean? Install is the answer, right? But what does install mean? Do you know? Yes, Ziren?
It's like downloading, but then it's not really like downloading. It's like you input something in your phone.
Yes, it is downloading. You're right. You have to download the app and then you open it, right? Once you download and you open it, means it's already working, right? So that means the installation is done. Very good. So that's what it means. You can add a point for telling me the meaning of the word. So it's download. Yeah, so add a point, download and open. This is short form for Anna. Yes. What does instill mean? Instill is usually used with the word values, or I need to instill. Instill means I inculcate. Inculcate. Another word is sorry, I spelled it wrongly. Inculcate. Inculcate. We need to instill good values in the students. Means that we need to inculcate good values, which means something that you embody, something that you learn, okay, and you take on, okay, so that you remember it. So instill usually goes with the word values. Now, what does project mean? Yes, Jakai? Project.
Instill, when I use the dictionary, it said put a substance into something in the form of liquid drops.
Huh? What? Instill? Which meaning? Wait, let me see. Let me Google it. Which meaning do you see? Oh, you saw, okay, instill has 2 verb meanings, right? So the one that you give, right, the put a substance one in a liquid, that one is the second meaning for instill. However, it's not a common meaning. Usually whenever you check for dictionary, look for the first meaning. That's one that is the most common. So if you actually Google it, there's 2 meanings. Instill, the first meaning tells you it is to inculcate, to gradually but firmly establish something. So that's the meaning I gave you, right? The other one, which is more like, for example, I instill eye drops, which is what you mean. You put eye drops in your eyes, right? So put a substance in something. So you can say instill, but it's not a very common use of that word. But it's also another meaning. So thank you for sharing the second meaning. Good. Now, project. What does project means? Project something. Yes, Jaden?
An individual or collaborative enterprise that is carefully planned to achieve a particular aim.
Did you Google it? Yes, clearly you're reading from something. Now, all of these are verbs because help me to something, right? So it's a verb, which means you need to look at the verb meaning of project. So what is the verb meaning of project? Yes, Jakai. By the way, Jaden gives up 1 point for trying. Yes.
Like using, using the computer and then you like put the whole screen onto like the TV.
Yeah, that's use a projector. It's called a projector, right? To project something on the screen, right? So that is one meaning. Another meaning of project is to predict. Sorry, predict. Okay, or to forecast. You tell something that's going to happen in the future beforehand. Okay, the projected market rate will be 10,000 for the next 10 years. So project, okay, mean estimate, right? Like you it's something that you and the one that he said just now, the meaning where you project something is to stick out. So just now Jerkai explained, right? Something you project on the screen, on the wall, that is like sticking out something. So that's also a meaning for project. Yes, so all of these words mean project. Now, inject, this one is easy, right? What do you inject? You inject a drug into your body using a syringe. So when you use a syringe, right? And then you, syringe is, you know what it is, right? Like you inoculate yourself, means you get an injection. So that's what it means, you put a drug into your body, basically. So that's inject. So of course here, coloring app, you cannot put into your body. That's going to be very weird. Can you imagine if you can open up an app in your body? That's going to be so weird. So it cannot be inject, it cannot be project as well. You can't project something. So it has to be install. Good. Well done. Thank you, Ziren. Now tell me when to stop, Ziren.
Stop.
Okay, pair. Who chose pair?
Me.
Who is me? Angeline, is it? Who chose pair? Oh yes, it's Ziren, you chose pair? It's you again? Okay, now mind. Let me spin again. You tell me to stop. Of all people to stop at, you stop at yourself. Well done. Okay, tell me to stop.
Stop.
Peach. Okay, Peach. Who's Peach? Jerkai, right? Yes. Okay, Jerkai, what's the answer for question 2?
Wait a moment.
Sure.
Okay. Question 2. Attachment.
Very good. Yes, very good. Tell me why.
Because it is the most. I feel like it's the most.
What's the clue? What's the clue? What's the clue sentence?
To this email.
Email, right? Yes, good. Email. Yes, and why is it? So this is the clue. Well done. So give yourself 2 points, one for the answer and one for the clue. Now, let me explain to you the meaning, okay? Now, attachment is always email attachments. You always go together, right? Email and attachment go together. What does email attachment mean? Email attachment means a computer file that is sent along with an email message, right? So it's a file, basically a file that you attach to an email and you send. It always goes with this word, email attachment. Right? Or you attach something in a file in a computer. Have you all sent an email before where you attach something? Like, for example, if I want to send an email, there's something called, like, it looks like a paper pin. It looks like this. So if I click on this, right, then I will be able to add like a Microsoft PowerPoint or a Microsoft Word, and I can send it to some people in PDF or whatever. So I attach a file. So that's what it means. So email attachment means you attach a document, like a PDF document or a PowerPoint document, you email to someone else. So that's the clue. Now, can anyone tell me what does enclosure mean? Anyone knows what does enclosure mean? Yes, Ziren hand is raised, yes?
Is it like when you go to the zoo, then they close animals in the area?
Very good. It's usually used with animals and it's a barrier, basically, right? It's a barrier that is surrounding an area. So gives our point, Ziren. So a barrier that is surrounding an area is called an enclosure. Well done. Like a deer enclosure or some other animal enclosure, right? It's covered. Yes, Jerkai, your hand is raised.
My definition where I get is where the mammals live.
Mammals?
Yeah, enclosure.
Okay, it's not just
tutor.
From your what tutor?
Last tutor.
Oh, okay. Last tutor, your previous tutor, you mean?
Yeah.
Enclosure doesn't just have to mean mammals. Enclosure means, it comes from the word closure. Closure means something that's closed around something. So enclosure, more specifically, is a place where animals are kept and it's surrounded by a barrier. So that's enclosed, so they cannot escape. So that's an enclosure. Okay. Thank you for sharing that, Jerkai. Now, who can tell me what does engagement mean? Raise your hand using the reaction button. Engagement. Nobody. Have you all heard about a wedding engagement? Have you gone to your family members or anybody's wedding engagement? You see the word engagement, right? So engagement is a formal agreement to get married. So before they get married, they first must get engaged first, right? So before, it's the process when they exchange rings, wedding rings, right? So an engagement is a formal agreement to get married, basically, okay? That is one meaning of it. Okay, it doesn't have to be a wedding, but most commonly it's used for that. Like, for example, last week I attended my cousin's wedding engagement, which means that's when they exchange their rings. And after the engagement, what follows that will be the actual wedding where they actually marry each other, right? Another use of engagement is when you have a fixed time and you made an arrangement to do something at a fixed time. For example, okay, I can't join you for this party because I already have another engagement with my boss, okay? Which means it's like an arrangement to do something at a fixed time. So I already have another engagement, so I can't do something that you want. All right, I can't meet you. So that's another meaning. Okay, connection. You already know what a connection is, right? If I have a connection with you, means I have a relationship with you, right? There is some form of relationship.